Roll another one.
Sit up, never like you know it's special packet with the automatics. We gon' send them to heaven. Wait. Hey. Woo! She like the way I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I move. She let it clap for a nigga. And she throw it back for a nigga. Yeah, she throw it back. Like a
What a do, Sensei crew? It's Anime Sensei here, and I'm gonna be bringing back a real OG series. What if Naruto was the reincarnation of an ice dragon? I know y'all was asking for this, so before we get into this, let's get a few things straight. Number one, I love this series to death. I ain't even gonna hold you. Number two, Sasuke is also gonna be a reincarnation of a dragon, but not an ice dragon. Actually, a fire dragon, since actually, the Uchiha clan specializes in fire, so I feel like it's only right to give him that. So I'm gonna say Sasuke had went through the same process as Naruto as we fast forward about a few years into the academy. Both Naruto and Sasuke had actually became friends, strangely enough, but did not tell each other about their said powers. But what they didn't know was secretly their dragons would communicate. As Naruto's, as if you watched the first part, you would know his dragon's name was Zeus. Sasuke's would be Draco. As well, I don't know, I just feel like it's fitting. I don't know. As suddenly, about a day or two before graduation day, Naruto was chilling in his house as suddenly Zeus had called him into his mind. Naruto, get in here now. As Naruto had appeared in his mindscape, as he had seen both Zeus and Kurama. As Zeus says, listen Naruto, there's going to be a tournament of sorts. There's going to be different types of people with their reincarnations. And this tournament happens every once in 1,000 years, so we need to go. This takes place in about a day or two. As Naruto says, I can't do that. I gotta go to the academy. And I gotta go graduate. Listen, Naruto. How about this? I can arrange it for tomorrow since your academy thing is 2 days. So, also, you're gonna have to tell the Uchiha boy about, well, you having an ice dragon. As what I didn't tell you was, he also is the reincarnation of a dragon. Not an ice dragon, but a dragon. More so a fire dragon, aka my friend, or a rival, whatever you want to call him, Draco. As in this time, Naruto and Sasuke still have that same rivalry. It's just that they're kind of friends, so it's not as heated. As one day, Naruto and Sasuke had meeted up at a training ground. As suddenly, Sasuke says from the tree, Dope, you need to stop slacking. I mean, if you're gonna pass this year, might as well stop. As Shikamaru and Choji had actually tagged along, as they were actually good friends with Naruto as well. As Naruto has decided to tell all of them about his secret. As suddenly Naruto pulls them all aside saying, listen you guys, I have something I need to tell you guys. As Sasuke also says he has something to tell them, as Sasuke says, you go first, Dope. With Naruto saying, so, here's something I've been keeping from you guys for a few years. I'm, basically the reincarnation of a huge dragon, an ice dragon, aka the ruler of all dragons, pretty much. As everyone had their jaw dropped, even Sasuke a little bit, as he had thought he was the only reincarnation of a dragon. As Sasuke suddenly says, well, my secret is, I'm also the reincarnation of a dragon, but not a ice dragon like Naruto, but a fire dragon. As both Shikamaru and Choji were actually shocked at this, but suddenly came out their shock, saying, That is so cool. At least that's what Choji said. Shikamaru also saying something similar after a follow-up of, what a drag. But I mean, hey, I think that's pretty cool actually, I'm not gonna lie. As suddenly Naruto says, alright guys, well, me and Sasuke are gonna have to leave for a tournament soon, so I think it's best if me and Sasuke train separately so we don't, cheat or get any techniques from each other, since we're most likely could face off. As about a day later, Naruto was chilling in his mindscape, getting ready to go. As suddenly, Zeus says, alright Naruto, let's go. As he had reverse summoned them back to his world, where he had seen a different variety of dragons. Naruto had seen a few fire dragon, a few ice dragon, and just different types of dragons. They had different types, like a lot. There was a water dragon, there was a lava dragon, there was a lot of dragons. As well, Naruto had actually ran into Sasuke, as suddenly Naruto says, hey, hold up, I want to see your, dragon. As Naruto and Zeus go to Sasuke's mindscape, with Naruto saying, whoa, okay, that's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Not as cool as Zeus, but definitely cool. With Draco over here in this thing, what was that, brat? I don't think you know who we were talking to. I am far better than Zeus. With Zeus saying in a sly remark, is that so? It was saying that a few centuries ago when I beat your ass. As well, they both started to get a little heated with each other, as both Naruto and Sasuke interfered, saying, well, we can fight if we get the chance. Naruto, make sure you win your matches. I do want to fight you after all, Sasuke says, with Naruto following up. Alright, then I guess we're on the same page. As they had both left Sasuke's mindscape. Same with Naruto's dragon, aka Zeus. As Zeus had actually took this time to explain to Naruto the different types of dragons and where they originate from, and why specifically the ice dragons were, well, the leader. As actually, it wasn't just the ice dragon, it was actually ice and fire. As there were two beings, well, more so dragons, one from the ice dragon clan and one from the fire dragon clan. As at one point in time, those two clans were at war with each other, as two people, one known as Fiona from the ice dragon species, with another one known as Fubuki from the fire dragon side. They had actually came together and had, well, a powerful child who was eventually killed, but was actually a pretty good dragon. As that's when the connection started, when they somewhat, not merged, but started getting along, as those two people were remembered as heroes. As Naruto was actually surprised at this story and said, whoa, that was deep. As suddenly he was called out in his mindscape as something that got his attention. Suddenly, the ref had came out saying, alright then, get ready! As Sasuke was actually called up first for the first match, as he was actually fighting some other human who was also the reincarnation of an ice dragon. As he seemed to have green hair, gray eyes, and he seemed to be kind of pale, even paler than Sasuke. As he's kind of just a rando, as suddenly the ref says start, as both Sasuke and the random go charging at each other. Suddenly, Sasuke punches him dead in the face, sending him flying back, as he suddenly jumps into the air, saying, Fire style! Dragon Flame Jutsu! As Draco had enhanced his fire style, making it 10 times stronger, while burning this man half to death, as he was screaming from agony, as Suddenly, the ref was going to interfere, but Sasuke says, "I'm not done yet." And suddenly, he picks him up while throwing him into the air while saying, "You do not deserve to be a reincarnation of the ice, not even an ice dragon, or a dragon in general." As he had pretty much disintegrated the man, killing him pretty much, as everyone in the sands was a little shocked, a few being proud as well. This wasn't the dragon's type of thing, as most dragons were brutal like that, especially reincarnations. As Naruto actually thought it was pretty cool, and wasn't really that shocked, as Sasuke was kind of brutal, same with him. As in this time when Naruto ain't soft, no, he ain't gonna be on that soft energy. Oh, uh-uh. Mm-mm-mm-mm. As after a few matches, it was finally Naruto's turn. As he had actually showed up, he actually seen a familiar face. "Shikamaru, what the heck are you doing here?" he says with a shocked face. As Shikamaru says, "It's a drag. I know I should have told you guys the other day when you guys revealed your secrets, but I didn't know how to break it down to you. Yes. And I wasn't too sure if it was even true, if it was just a joke, as I had just thought I was dreaming, but I'm actually the reincarnation of a shadow dragon." As Shikamaru says, "Well, we'll talk about this later. Let's get this fight done. It's gonna be a drag anyway, though," he says, while scratching the back of his head. As suddenly the ref says, "Three, two, one, go!" As Naruto went charging at Shikamaru, Shikamaru suddenly threw three kunai towards Naruto as they had all exploded, while getting some dust in Naruto's eye. As Shikamaru had gotten this time to give back, while getting some time to think of a strategy. So suddenly Naruto emerged from the smoke, charging at Shikamaru, punching him dead in the face. As Shikamaru had actually made a shadow clone, as he had ordered the shadow clone to sneak behind Naruto while him and Naruto fought, and when it was the right time to use his shadow possession jutsu. As him and Naruto had clashed fists for a little bit, suddenly Shikamaru had realized he was starting to lose. As suddenly he shouts, "Shadow style! Shadow stitching punch!" As a huge shadow punch goes flying towards Naruto, punching him into a nearby wall, as he had coughed up a little bit of blood. As suddenly Naruto says, "Alright then, Shikamaru. No more playing around. Ice style, ice cap!" As a fury of ice goes flying towards Shikamaru, as Shikamaru had jumped back, throwing 7 kunai. As suddenly Shikamaru signals to the clone, "Go!" As Naruto had thought he had pretty much defeated Shikamaru, as suddenly Naruto had realized he couldn't move. As he says, "Damn it, Shikamaru." "I caught you, Naruto. Seems I got this one." As before the judge could call it off, suddenly Naruto's whole body emerged, as ice had emerged from his body, pretty much freezing anything nearby. The only reason Shikamaru wasn't frozen to death is his shadow style from his dragon had actually managed to keep him from dying, but it had knocked him out. As Naruto looked around him in the icy environment, saying, "What the? This was me?" As he looks around, suddenly Zeus says in his head, "I'm real proud of you, kid." As suddenly the referee calls it off, saying, "Alright, next match." As about a few matches later, I don't really want to mention as well, none of them were too relevant. As finally the top two who were left. In one corner, we had the fire dragon reincarnation. On the other, the ice dragon reincarnation. As if you've been keeping up with this, you know it's Naruto and Sasuke. As that's how the judge was pretty much introducing them, saying, "Alright then, this is the last fight. Winner takes, well, this, you'll figure it out. But if you tie, we'll split it. Fair enough?" As both of the boys looked back at each other saying, fair enough. As suddenly he says, ready, set, go! As suddenly Naruto makes 3 shadow clones, while doing something similar to the Boruto stream, as he went charging towards Sasuke, managing to actually punch him in the stomach, sending him flying back into a nearby wall. As Sasuke had actually teleported behind Naruto, kicking him in the back. As Naruto had managed to get up, suddenly says, dirty move, Sasuke. As he had made a shadow clone while swinging the shadow clone towards Sasuke. As that had actually been used as a diversion as the shadow clone popped, suddenly the real Naruto appeared from the ground as it had uppercutted Sasuke, sending him flying into the air. As Sasuke, who had used this to his advantage, suddenly says, fire style! Fireball jutsu! As the fireball goes flying down to Naruto, as he was barely able to dodge it, getting a few burns off of it. It's Sasuke saying, keep your back open, dope, otherwise you'll get hit. Watch your back. As the two boys had went clashing at each other, clashing fists for a few minutes. As Naruto says, lightning style, lightning stream. As he had sent a lightning stream going towards Sasuke, as suddenly Sasuke says, earth style, earth wall. As Sasuke actually knows earth style in this timeline. As Naruto says, dang it. How does he know? I'm not even gonna question it. I mean, I don't know lightning style and I didn't tell anyone, so I mean, can't be surprised. As everyone who was in the stands was actually pretty impressed with these two boys, as people from the ice side of the dragons say, I have my money on the blind boy. The people on the fire side say, definitely have it on the fire, on the black-haired boy. As this was mostly a bias towards, well, since Sasuke was the reincarnation of a fire dragon and Naruto was the reincarnation of an ice dragon, so it was mostly biased, really, on why they were rooting for both of them. Well, that's why they were rooting for them. Mostly just biased. As their fight had carried on for a few more minutes, Naruto suddenly says, alright, Sasuke, why don't we end this? Why don't we make this a little flashy? As suddenly Naruto shouts out, ice style! Ice rotation! Palm! As suddenly ice emerges on Naruto's palm. As suddenly Sasuke yells out, fire style! Fire flame fist! As they both go charging at each other. The final clash, and suddenly, when they had made contact, a huge explosion erupted. As everyone else had gotten a little bit knocked back, as when the judges had both seen Naruto and Sasuke, they were both passed out. As about a few hours later, suddenly both Naruto and Sasuke woke up saying, who won? They had both said simultaneously at the same time. As suddenly the ref says, well, no one won, actually. But you guys are going to split the prize. As both Naruto and Sasuke asked, what was the prize anyway? With him saying, it was, a weapon. 2 weapons specifically. One was a shield while the other one was a sword. These swords were merged and forged by the ice dragons and the fire dragons. The shield was forged by the ice dragons, while the sword was forged by the ice dragons and the shield was forged by the fire dragons. As Naruto says, alright then, I think I'll get the sword, with Sasuke saying, the shield's mine, dope. As they had actually shaked hands saying, alright, good fight though. As, well, the current leader of, well, all the dragons suddenly says, alright then, since the tournament has officially ended, you can all return back to your homes. As suddenly, he creates a portal, sending them all back. As both Naruto and Sasuke had pretty much got back home, as Naruto had arrived back at his home saying, what a day. With Sasuke arriving back at his home, saying, I must get back in my training to avenge my clan. As we fast forward the next day, where both Naruto and Sasuke are doing the graduation exam. As this time went, Naruto did pretty good on pretty much everything except the clone jutsu. As during the Shotokan test, he did 10 out of 10. The written exam got a 95 out of 100, and pretty much did good on pretty much everything else except the clone jutsu, as he could make clones, but the problem was he didn't make the requirement. Iruka said he can't make no more and no less than 2 clones. But every time he does it, he makes about 100. As that was pretty much his only problem. Same with Sasuke, as he didn't have that problem, but he did pretty much well on everything, having no problem, as he didn't have, well, no, I take that back. Since he's the reincarnation of Fire Dragon, he would have a lot of chakra. I take that back. He actually does have the same problem as Naruto, which is why they're both in the same class, actually. As both Naruto and Sasuke were actually nervous, saying, not again. Naruto saying, I can't, come on Sasuke, this has happened, 4 times already? We cannot fail for a 3rd time. I refuse. I don't want to fail a 3rd time though. A 3rd time? Come on Sasuke. We would be the most sorriest people in the village. What's Sasuke saying? Tell me something I don't know, dope. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, I went to the library the other day, and I still can't figure it out. I mean, sure, we have a lot of chakra, but I don't even get why Yuka wants us to make so many 2 clones. Come on. Maybe if we beat him in these spars, maybe he'll change his mind. As it was time to do the teacher versus student spar, as Naruto would be battling Mizuki, and Sasuke would be fighting Iruka. As Naruto and Sasuke had agreed to hold back so they wouldn't kill either of them. Suddenly Naruto goes charging towards Mizuki, same with Mizuki going charging towards Naruto. As they had both clashed, Mizuki's fist broke as suddenly he cried out, saying, Ah! Ah! As suddenly he fell to the ground and started crying. As everyone in the academy had taken out their phones, suddenly taking pictures of it while uploading it to Ninjaland. I invented that, honestly. But, yeah. As all the kids were pretty much laughing at Mizuki, as Mizuki suddenly says in his head, God dang you, demon brat. I'll get you back. That's for sure. As Sasuke had knocked out Iruka swiftly, not trying to hurt him all that much. As it came to the part of the clone jutsu, both Naruto and Sasuke had tried, as they had both made 200 clones together, as, well, individually only 100. As Iruka says, Naruto, Sasuke, come on, we've talked about this. I'm gonna sadly have to fail the both of you, even though you're my best students. Literally, even in test scores. I'm sorry, but I have to do this. With Naruto saying, come on, Iruka, give us a pass. With Sasuke nodding in agreement, saying, come on, Iruka. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, technically, we already did what you wanted. We made clones. I don't even get why the requirement is 2. Sasuke says with a little bit of frustration laced in his voice. As Iruka says, dismissed. As both Naruto and Sasuke had body flickered out of the office. I mean, not the office, the school. As school was pretty much over at this point, suddenly Mizuki approached the both of them, out of the blue, saying, Hey, do you 2 want to learn some jutsu? With both Naruto and Sasuke obviously knowing Mizuki was up to something, saying, No, why not? As they both had put on a dumb mask, aka showing, that, well, acting dumb. As Mizuki tells them about the scroll of ceilings, and that's another way to pass. As both Naruto and Sasuke had came up with a plan on how they were going to trick Mizuki and get some new jutsu out of it as well. As they had both informed the Hokage, telling him that Mizuki wanted the scroll, as both Naruto and Sasuke had informed him of their plan, but didn't mention the jutsu part as they didn't think that'd be that important, and he'd probably stop them. So, yeah, as Naruto and Sasuke had taken the scroll, they were both scrolling through it to find some jutsu. As for Sasuke, he had found something called the Fire-style Majestic Destroyer Flame. As Naruto, he had found out something called the Flying Raijin. And there was another one that Sasuke had also seen called the Chidori. And Naruto had also seen something called the Rasengan. As these techniques had both intrigued Naruto and Sasuke to some degree. As they had both written down on separate scrolls, as suddenly Naruto says, "Alright Sasuke, get ready. Mizuki will be here any minute." With Sasuke nodding, saying, "Alright, dope. We should definitely end this quickly. Knowing him, he's probably just gonna waste his time running his mouth." As suddenly Mizuki appears, saying, "Ha ha ha, I've got you, demon brat." As before he could finish that sentence, both Naruto and Sasuke threw two kunai, as two had hit the left side of his neck and the other two hit the right side of his neck, as he had pretty much died. Both Naruto and Sasuke looked down upon him, laughing in pity. You are weak, man. I'm not even gonna hold you." As they had both decided, alright, we should probably wait for Iruka, as about a few minutes later, Iruka arrived saying, "Naruto, Sasuke, are you okay? What happened?" And you defeated Mizuki? I don't know why I'm surprised. I mean, you guys were the top students. With both Naruto and Sasuke grinning, saying, I mean, you're not wrong. So, do we pass or not? Hazuka sighed, saying, I knew this would come up, as he took out two headbands from his pocket, one being blue while the other was black. As Naruto took the blue one and Sasuke took the black one, suddenly Iruka says, Alright, you two, you are officially now Genin. How about we go get some ramen? As both Naruto and Sasuke pump up their fists, saying, Alright. With Sasuke shortly adding, as long as we get soba on the side, I'm cool with it. As this is where I'm going to be leaving it off. I hope you guys enjoyed. Your boy on the come up, he on the grind. And I hope you guys enjoyed this original content from Anime Sensei. Road to 200, and man, I love y'all. Man, y'all fans is loyal. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. But Anime Sensei out.